five-time NBA champion, three-time NBA MVP, the greatest point guard of all time? Maybe so. But let's go back and let's break it down. Is Magic Johnson the greatest point guard to ever live? Some people will make the case that he is. Some will make the case for others. I'm going to make the case and break down his entire career from start to finish, from college, that iconic matchup with Larry Bird, all the way up until his retirement. Me personally, I think Magic is the greatest point guard to ever play the game. He was a point forward before we ever knew what LeBron James was. He revolutionized what it looked like to run the offense. And that time he would have been playing more big, more back to the basket, but he was fast, agile, one of the greatest, if not the greatest passer of all time. And he ran that offense, man. He was able to play other positions as well, as we seen him in that finals with Kareem. But this is going to be breaking down the legend Magic Johnson. If you are new, please like, share, and subscribe to the video. I greatly appreciate it. It helps me out tremendously. Get straight into this video. Irvin Johnson Jr. was first dubbed Magic as a 15-year-old sophomore playing for Everett High School when he recorded a triple-double of 36 points, 18 rebounds, and 16 assists. After the game, Fred Stabley Jr., a sports writer for the Lansing State Journal, gave him that moniker. Despite the disbelief of Johnson's mother, a devout Christian, that name was sacrilegious. Although Johnson was recruited by several top-ranked colleges such as Indiana and UCLA, he decided to play close to home. His college decision came down to Michigan and Michigan State in East Lansing. He ultimately decided to attend Michigan State when Coach Judd Heathcote told him he could play the point guard position. The talent already on Michigan State roster also drew him to the program. Johnson did not initially aspire to play professionally, focusing instead on his communication studies major and his desire to become a TV commentator. As a freshman, Johnson would average 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists per game, and lead the Spartans to a 25-5 record, the Big Ten Conference title, and a berth in the 1978 NCAA tournament. The Spartans reached the Elite Eight but lost narrowly to the eventual national champion, Kentucky. During the 1978-79 season, Michigan State again qualified for the NCAA tournament, where they advanced to the championship game and faced none other than Larry Bird and the Indiana State Sycamores. In what was the most watched college basketball game ever, Michigan State defeated Indiana State 75-64, and Johnson was voted the most outstanding player of the Final Four. He was also selected to the 1978 and 79 All-American team for his performance that season. After 2 years in college, during which he averaged 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists per game, Johnson entered the 1979 draft. Johnson would go on to be drafted first overall in 1979 by the Los Angeles Lakers. Johnson said that what was most amazing about joining the Lakers was his chance to play alongside Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the team's 7'2" center who became the leading scorer in NBA history. Despite Abdul-Jabbar's dominance, he had failed to win a championship with the Lakers, and Johnson was expected to help him achieve that goal. Lakers coach Jack McKinney had the 6'9" rookie Johnson, who some analysts thought should play forward, be a point guard, even though incumbent Norm Nixon was already one of the best in the league. Johnson would go on to average 18 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 7 assists per game for the season, and was selected to the NBA All-Rookie team and was named the NBA All-Star Game Starter. The Lakers compiled a 60-22 record in the regular season and reached the 1980 NBA Finals, in which they would face off against the 76ers and Dr. J. The Lakers took a 3-2 lead in the series, but Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who averaged 33 points in that series, sprained his ankle in Game 5 and could not play in Game 6. Coach Paul Westhead, who had replaced McKinney early in the season after he had a near-fatal bike accident, decided to start Johnson at center in Game 6. Johnson recorded 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals in a 123-107 win, while playing guard, forward, and center at different times during the game. Johnson became the only rookie to win the NBA Finals MVP, and his clutch performance is still regarded as one of the finest in NBA history. He also became one of 4 players to win NCAA and NBA championships in consecutive years. Early in the 1980-81 season, Johnson was sidelined after he suffered torn cartilage in his left knee. He would go on to miss 45 games and said that his rehabilitation was the most down he had ever felt. Johnson returned before the start of the 81 playoffs, but the Lakers' then assistant and future head coach Pat Riley later said Johnson's much anticipated return made the Lakers a divided team. The 54-win Lakers faced the 40-42 Houston Rockets in the first round of the playoffs, where Houston would upset the Lakers 2-1 after Johnson airballed the last-second shot in Game 3. In 1981, after the 81 season, Johnson signed a 25-year, $25 million contract with the Lakers, which is equivalent to $80 million in 2023, which was the highest-paying contract in sports history up to that time. Early in 81-82, Johnson had a heated dispute with Westhead, who Johnson said made the Lakers slow and predictable. After Johnson demanded to be traded, Lakers owner Jerry Buss fired Westhead and replaced him with Riley. Although Johnson denied responsibility for Westhead's firing, he was booed across the league, even by Lakers fans. In 1982, the Lakers would advance through the playoffs and eventually face the Philadelphia 76ers for the second time in 3 years in the NBA Finals. After a triple-double from Johnson in Game 6, the Lakers defeated the Sixers 4-2, as Johnson won his second NBA Finals MVP. During the championship series against the Sixers, Johnson averaged 16 points on 53% shooting, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals per game. Johnson later said that his third season was when the Lakers first became a great team, and he credited the success to Riley. During the 1982 and 83 season, Johnson's first of 9 consecutive triple-double seasons, he averaged 16 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds a game and earned his first All-NBA first-team nomination. The Lakers again would reach the finals and for a third time face the Sixers, who featured center Moses Malone as well as Dr. J. With Johnson's teammates Nixon, James Worthy, and Bob McAdoo all hobbled by injuries, the Lakers would go on to be swept by the Sixers, and Malone was crowned the Finals MVP. In a losing effort against Philadelphia, Johnson averaged 19 points on 40% shooting, 12 assists, and 7 rebounds per game. This next stretch of history, from 83 to 87, would involve all of the battles against the Boston Celtics. Prior to Johnson's 5th season, West, who had become the Lakers general manager, traded Nixon to free Johnson from sharing the ball handling responsibilities. Johnson averaged another triple-double season with 17 points, 13 assists, and 7 rebounds per game. The Lakers reached the finals for the third year in a row, where Johnson's Lakers and Bird's Celtics met for the first time in the postseason. The Lakers won Game 1 and led by 2 points in Game 2 with 18 seconds to go, but after a layup by Gerald Henderson, Johnson failed to get a shot off before the final buzzer beater sounded, and the Lakers lost 124 to 121 in overtime. In Game 3, Johnson responded with 21 assists in a 137 to 104 win, but he made several crucial errors late in the contest during Game 4. In the final minute of the game, Johnson had the ball stolen by Celtics center Robert Parrish and then missed 2 free throws that could have won the game. The Celtics won Game 4 in overtime, and the team split the next 2 games. In a decisive Game 7 in Boston, as the Lakers trailed by 3 points in the final minute, opposing point guard Dennis Johnson stole the ball from Johnson, a play that effectively ended the series. During the NBA Finals against the Boston Celtics and Larry Bird, Johnson averaged 18 points on 56% shooting, 13.6 assists, and 7.7 rebounds per game. Johnson later described that series as the one championship he should have had, but didn't get. In the 1984-85 season, Johnson averaged 18 points, 12 assists, and 6 rebounds per game and led the Lakers back to the NBA Finals in '85, where they would face off again against the Celtics. The series started poorly for the Lakers when they allowed an NBA Finals record of 148 points to the Celtics in a 34-point loss in Game 1. However, Abdul-Jabbar, who was now 38 years old, scored 30 points and grabbed 17 rebounds in Game 2, and his 36 points in the Game 5 win were instrumental in establishing a 3-2 lead for Los Angeles. After the Lakers defeated the Celtics in Game 6, Abdul-Jabbar and Johnson, who averaged 18 points on 49% shooting with 14 assists and 6 rebounds per game in the championship series, said the NBA Finals was the highlight of their career. Going fast forward into 85-86 season, Johnson would again average another double-double, 18 points, 12 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. The Lakers advanced to the Western Conference Finals but were unable to defeat the Houston Rockets, who advanced to the finals in 5 games. In the next season, Johnson would go on to average a career-high 23 points as well as 12 assists and 6 rebounds per game and earn his first regular season MVP award. The Lakers met the Celtics for the 3rd time in the NBA Finals, and in Game 4, Johnson hit a last-second hook shot over the Celtics' big man Parrish and Kevin McHale to win the game 107-106. The game-winning shot, which Johnson dubbed his junior skyhook, helped Los Angeles defeat Boston in 6 games. Johnson was awarded his third Finals MVP title after averaging 26 points on 54% shooting with 13 assists, 8 rebounds, and 2 steals per game. In the 1988 playoffs, the Lakers swept the San Antonio Spurs in 3 games, then survived 2 4-3 series against the Utah Jazz and the Dallas Mavericks to reach the finals and face Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons, who with players such as Bill Laimbeer, John Salley, Vinnie Johnson, and Dennis Rodman were known as the Bad Boy Pistons for their physical style of play. Johnson and Thomas greeted each other with a kiss on the cheek before opening tip in Game 1, which they called a display of brotherly love. After teams split the first 6 games, Lakers forward and Finals MVP James Worthy had his first career triple-double of 36 points, 16 rebounds, and 10 assists, and led his team to a 108-105 win. Despite not being named MVP, Johnson had a strong championship series, averaging 21 points on 55% shooting, 13 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. It was the 5th and final NBA championship of his career. During the 88-89 season, Johnson would go on to average 22 points, 12 assists, and 7 rebounds per game and earn him his second MVP award. And the Lakers would reach the 1989 NBA Finals, in which they again would face off against the Pistons. However, after Johnson went down with a hamstring injury in Game 2, the Lakers were no match for the Pistons and would eventually be swept 4-0. Playing without Abdul-Jabbar for the first time, Johnson won his third MVP award after a strong 89-90 NBA season, in which he averaged 22 points, 11 assists, and 6 rebounds per game. The Lakers would eventually be bounced out of the playoffs by the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference semifinals, which was the Lakers' earliest playoff elimination in 9 years. Mike Dunleavy would go on to become the Lakers head coach in 1991, when Johnson had grown to be the league's third oldest point guard. Eventually, under 19 points, 12 assists, and 7 rebounds per game, the Lakers would reach the 91 Finals, where they would face off against the Chicago Bulls, led by shooting guard Michael Jordan, a 5-time scoring champion regarded as the finest player of his era. Although the series was portrayed as a matchup between Johnson and Jordan, Bulls forward Scottie Pippen defended effectively against Johnson. Despite 2 triple-doubles from Johnson during the series, Finals MVP Jordan led his team to a 4-1 win. In the last championship series of his career, Johnson averaged 18 points on 43% shooting with 12 assists and 8 rebounds per game. After a physical during the 1991-92 NBA season, Johnson discovered that he had tested positive for HIV. In a press conference held on November 7, 1991, Johnson made a public announcement that he would retire effective immediately. He stated that his wife Cookie and their unborn child did not have HIV and that he would dedicate his life to battle this deadly disease. Despite his retirement, Johnson was voted by fans as a starter for the 1992 NBA All-Star Game at Orlando Arena. Although his former teammates Byron Scott and AC Green said that Johnson should not play, and several NBA players, including Utah Jazz forward Karl Malone, argued that they would be at risk of contamination if Johnson suffered an open wound while on the court. Johnson led the West to a 153-113 win and was crowned an All-Star MVP after recording 25 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds. The game ended after he made a last-second three-pointer, and the players from both teams ran onto the court to congratulate Johnson. Going forward, Johnson was selected to compete in the Barcelona 1992 Summer Olympics for the United States national team, dubbed the Dream Team because of the NBA stars on the roster. The Dream Team, which along with Johnson included fellow Hall of Famers such as Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and Charles Barkley, was considered unbeatable. After qualifying for the Olympics with a gold medal at the 1992 Tournament of the Americas, the Dream Team dominated the Olympic competition, winning the gold medal with an 8-0 record, beating their opponents by an average of 43.8 points a game. Johnson averaged 8 points a game during the Olympics and had 5 assists per game, was second on the team. Johnson played infrequently because of his knee problems, but he received standing ovations from the crowd and used the opportunity to inspire HIV-positive people. Magic Johnson is widely recognized as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Laker to ever lace him up and put on the purple and gold. 5 championships, 3 MVPs, as well as final MVP solidified his place in NBA history. In 905 NBA games, Johnson tallied 17,707 points, 6,559 rebounds, and 10,141 assists, translating to career averages of 19.5 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 11.2 assists per game, the highest assist per game average in NBA history. Johnson shares the single game playoff record for assists at 24. holds the NBA Finals record for assists in a game at 21 and has the most playoff assists of all time at 2,346. He is the only player to average 12 assists in the NBA Finals series, achieving it 6 times. He holds the All-Star Game single game record for assists at 22 and the All-Star Game record for career assists at 127. Johnson introduced a fast-paced style of basketball called Showtime, described as a mix of no-look passes off the fast break, pinpoint alley-oops from half court, spinning feeds, and overhand bullets under the basket through triple teams. Fellow Lakers guard Michael Cooper said there have been times when Johnson had thrown passes and I wasn't sure where he was going. Then one of our guys catches the ball and scores, and I run back up the floor convinced that he must have thrown it through somebody. Johnson could dominate a game without scoring, running the offense, and distributing the ball with flair. In the 1982 finals, he was named the finals MVP, averaging 16 points, the lowest average of any finals MVP award recipient in the three-point shooting era. Johnson was exceptional because he played point guard despite being 6'9", a size reserved normally for front court players. His career 138 triple-double games places him third all-time behind Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook. Johnson is the only player in the NBA Finals history to have triple-doubles in multiple series-clinching games. For his feats, Johnson was voted as one of the 50 greatest players of all time by the NBA in 1996 and selected to the NBA 75th anniversary team in 2021. The Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame inducted him in 2002. This has been Breaking Down the Legend, Magic Johnson. Until the next one, peace.